be showing you guys some secret ways that you can find out that Herobrine is for sure in your world. Stay tuned to find out more.
Suddenly piece yourself back together now. What's your vision?
So one of the first ways that you can actually find out that Herobrine is your world is something that I didn't cover in my previous video. This is something that was kind of odd because it happened to me. Now this is something that includes water. Now what do I mean by, water is, something I honestly don't know what the village is doing under there, but yeah, what do I mean when I say water? So for example, we all know that water exists in Minecraft and it normally spawns, randomly. It can spawn in caves, it can spawn, in the oceans, it can spawn in like little ponds, it can spawn, pretty much everywhere. The one thing that I've seen happen is that water doesn't behave normally in worlds where Herobrine exists. What do I mean by this? For example, I was in a world which I used the Herobrine seed on, and water, for example, it was here. I can't explain exactly how it went, but it just didn't act in this fashion. It had its own path, went its own way, and it just doesn't act in the standard way that water flows. You'll be able to see this because, water flows in a pretty basic way. When water comes out, it flows around all the blocks and around for like 8 blocks. So that's one of the definite signs that Herobrine exists. What's also, kind of odd is that what water can also do is it can start flowing randomly. So let's say, for example, water was at this block right here. What water could start doing is, if Herobrine was in a world, is that maybe in 10 minutes or so the water may start flowing around here and water may start flowing all the way around here. Just start behaving not normally, like I said before. The also oddest way that you can possibly see that Herobrine is in your world is that if water just doesn't move at all. So for example, this happened on my world. I saw that there was this in my world, but except there weren't any pressure plates, there was this just in my world after I placed water down. The water wouldn't move from the place of origin, it just wouldn't move at all. I didn't know why. I was freaking out, and in this same exact world, the same water sort of glitch happened as well while I was recording a video, and I showed everyone that. You guys can check out my Herobrine related videos if you haven't already. But yeah, this is definitely a sure sign of Herobrine. As you guys can see, when water is placed in the middle, it's supposed to go out of all sides. But when Herobrine's in your world, this just isn't the case. Now this is the Herobrine seed, so if you guys do spot anything weird, be sure to point it out. And like I said, guys, the next tip we're going to be going on to is another way to find out if Herobrine's in your world or not, is by using the Herobrine seed. If your seed has any Herobrine text in it, like contains the word Herobrine in any formation, any variation, in any way whatsoever, it's more than likely, or more than not likely, that Herobrine is for sure in your world somewhere lurking around, or is it generally a higher possibility? And I do apologize if this video does get cut, but like I was saying, it's more than not a high possibility that Herobrine is in your world, because what you do when you use the Herobrine seed is that you generally trigger whatever secret coding that is in the game to sort of activate any 0.001% chance that Herobrine could be in your world. So this is something that you guys want to check out for. So if you always want to make sure you want to try to find Herobrine, definitely make sure that you are using the Herobrine seed, because if you use any other seed, it's going to be kind of hard to find him, but nonetheless you still have a great chance on that seed, any other seed, but it's just normally a greater chance on the Herobrine seed, because I've experienced some weird things happening in these seeds, which brings me on to my next point, guys. So the next sort of tip slash trick that you might see to sort of find Herobrine is the fact that you might actually see it, guys, and I can't express enough of how rare this one is, because this glitch slash Herobrine thing only happens very rarely. I've only ever seen it once, and I experienced it on one of my seeds. Is that your villages, guys, the villages that you have in your world that spawn naturally may be cut in half, guys. Now this is a glitch that only ever happens, that I've only ever seen happen, guys. And the reason why I say this only ever happens with Herobrine seeds is not just because I've only ever seen it happen on a Herobrine seed. It's not like I'm just some random Minecrafter talking about this. It's the fact that I've been playing Minecraft, guys, on the console edition for over 3 to 4 years now, guys, and all those over those 3 to 4 years I've done seed showcases, guys, and not once have I ever seen that glitch apart from being on the actual Herobrine seed, which is why I can you can believe me when I say that this is a feature that it only happens on the Herobrine seeds. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's so rare that it does happen on random seeds, but if you do see this, guys, it does mean for sure, you know, it does probably increase your chances of the fact that Herobrine could be in your world. Now this one is kind of scary as well, guys, because it just doesn't make any sense, guys. I don't have the seed anymore. I don't have the seed anymore because the title update is gone. The title update for that is gone. So this is the current updated seed that I'm using. And yeah, guys, it was so weird. It's just incredible. Like this, like what's weird about it as well, guys, is that it will be like a half cut village. It won't just be like a randomly cut in half thing. It will be like an actual half village. I can't really explain it. You guys have to experience it for yourself. Just type in Drusum C Herobrine seed and you'll see one where the village may be cut in half. So if your village is cut in half, which is a very, very rare occurrence, it might be Herobrine. Now the next tip slash trick for Herobrine is also about another natural structure, and this is about the woodland mansion. And the woodland mansion may be cut in half or maybe cut into like a third if Herobrine is in your world. Now this happened to me as well, guys, and I'm pretty sure this isn't a random generated glitch, because let's say for example, you know, there's random generation where the world cuts off. Maybe the world cuts off right all the way along one line, and then you see that, you know, everything that like there's, you know, sort of like a cross section when, you know, you expand a world from small to big, and you know, you see that things were cut in half. And you know, that makes sense, because you know, when you go from a small world to a large world, the world, it gets kind of messed up if you don't do it properly. So I can understand when you see that. But if you spawn a normal world and then the village is just completely cut in half, or the woodland mansion is completely cut into a third, then there is more than not likely that Herobrine is in your world, guys. That is the next one. So for the next one, I think this is the fifth and final one, guys. This is actually not the final one. This is something that is just shocking, guys, is that Herobrine may actually just destroy cactus, guys. So this is something that I experienced when I was, you know, just wandering around in my world thinking what I should record next. That's what I like to do. I like to just, you know, run around in the world, just, you know, getting ideas, just looking at stuff, just trying to get video ideas. And then this happened, guys. I'm just walking along, and then boom, that happened, and I was like, what? I literally stopped, dropped my controller, and said, what on earth just happened? It's kind of weird, guys. You might see it. I don't know how you're gonna see it. I want to see it. It's just very, very rare. Only I've ever experienced it once, and I've done a lot of cactus farming before. Never seen something like it. It's incredible. If you do experience it, then it's more than likely that Herobrine destroyed it and is possibly watching you. It's definitely freaky. Like, I was really freaked out when I saw it, because I was like, no one is in my world whatsoever, so no one could be trolling in my world, and no one can be invisible in your world without giving them permission. So it doesn't really make sense for that to happen. So it's kind of weird, guys. It's kind of like a weird occurrence that is really, you know, shocking if it does happen to you. It can happen in any world, but like I said, guys, all of these things that I'm talking about happened on a world which had, you know, didn't even have Herobrine in it, but it was a really old world. So I think maybe the older worlds, you know, have a bit more of Herobrine affected on it, if you guys know what I mean. So this is like, I guess, a sub tip, not really a proper tip, but this brings me on to my next sub tip before the last one, is that if your worlds are relatively old, like really old, guys, then you might, and then you expand it, in that expanded territory, guys, you might be more prone to see, you know, more evidence of Herobrine. Now this is something that is really scary, because this is exactly what happened to me, and I know happened to a couple of subscribers, is because they had the world since pretty much the first 5 versions of the Herobrine, you know, since the first 5 versions of the Xbox 60 edition, and they've had it all the way now to the Xbox One edition. And when they expanded the world, because, you know, in the Xbox One you can get larger worlds, the expanded area, it just a lot of, you know, weird stuff starts happening in it. So that's definitely one of, you know, the tips. Now for the last tip, guys, this is something that, you know, is very rare as well, is if you happen to see crosses naturally generated. Now I don't know why this is the case. I honestly have no idea what this is, but this is something that I found in my world. I found it in my original Herobrine seed, my original city that I play on. And when I found this, guys, it was literally just there in the sky, and at first I thought, yep, someone definitely built this, someone definitely watches my Herobrine videos, and I leave the world on frequently and let people roam about. And then, guys, I loaded the seed up, went to the exact location, and it was there, guys. This exact thing was there, and I was freaking out. I was like, whoa, this is not a joke anymore. Herobrine is legit in my world, and I was freaking out because I was like, wow, this is actually, you know, a thing. So this, guys, is the final sign. Now if you see this, guys, generally in that area, like within 100 blocks of that area, you are more than likely to experience Herobrine. You know, any sort of redstone, you know, any sort of, you know, blocks being broken, all that sort of stuff is going to happen in that area, and it's definitely where you want to set up base if you guys do want to hunt Herobrine. So it's definitely interesting to see if you can, you know, find Herobrine, see if you can trace him down, and see if you can see any, you know, unique things that most people don't realize. It's been DrewsMC. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you want to see Herobrine, and if you, wow, guys, you guys can see that this is actually a natural. If you guys can't see, there's kind of like a cross, if you guys can see what I mean. But yeah, you guys get the gist. This is the Herobrine seed as well, guys. So yeah, just, you know, just remember that. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, do not forget to leave a like, guys. Do not forget to subscribe. And hopefully you guys learn a thing or two about, you know, spotting Herobrine in your world. And if you see any of these tips and tricks, make sure, you know, you try and record it, you try and screenshot it, and you know, you just hop over on Twitter and just tweet me the seed, and I'll be sure to explore it, because subscriber did do that and I did explore the seed. So yeah, guys, it's been DrewsMC. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, it's gonna be peace.